Hey YouTube, it's Cityside75 here, and I'm posting a response video to Polaventris' question of what do you drive? And I was excited to see this particular topic come up because this weekend is the weekend that I pull my summer car out, and that's this car right here. It's a 1988 Toyota MR2. And it's a Toyota MR2 Supercharged. And just a little history about this car. The MR2 was originally designed by Toyota and Lotus as a joint project back in the early 80s, and it was designed to be a economical car, but with the layout of a true sports car. So as you can see, it's mid-engine. Let me just pop this real quick. So the engine is actually back here. Okay. So when the car came out, it was really popular, and people really liked it. But the one thing that everyone asked for was more power. And eventually, in the last couple of years of production of this original model MR2, Toyota finally did up the power by adding a supercharger. But by the time that they did that, the price of the car had gone through the roof, and in part due to the yen transfer percentages or whatever. But so as a result, the car became very expensive. And so only approximately 3,000 to 4,000 supercharged MR2s were ever actually brought over to the States. And my particular model, it's basically a garage queen. It only sees sunny days pretty much at this point. I've actually had it since 1994. I got it right shortly after I had graduated from college, and I think maybe the first or second time that I drove it, I called my future wife, my girlfriend at the time, and told her that I was never going to get rid of this car. And so far, since almost 20 years now, that I have come through on that. It only has about 69,000 miles. Yeah, it's about to turn 70,000 miles here. And it's mostly stock except for the wheels. The way you can tell a supercharged MR2 from a regular MR2 is by a couple things. Number one, the supercharged model has these raised grills on the back of the hood, or of the engine cover. And then it also has aluminum teardrop wheels. And I still have my teardrops, but I actually replaced them with, these are actually from the third generation MR2 Spider that was released by Toyota in the early 2000s. And they're actually a direct fit onto this car, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the car's in pretty good shape. It hasn't had a full restoration, but it never really needed it. But I have gone through just about everything on the car at this point. And I also made some minor performance modifications to it. Nothing major, but just added some additional boost on the supercharger. And needless to say, this thing is really quick. So, like I was saying before about the issue with the power, when Toyota finally did release this car, it was a supercharged car at a time when superchargers hadn't been in production U.S. cars for many years. And it gave it an interesting character versus turbo cars of the time, because the throttle is basically instant on. You can see that the gauges, there's a supercharger light there. You give it enough gas and that supercharger light will kick on. And And the supercharger itself actually kind of sounds like a vacuum cleaner when it's on. And yeah, at the time this car came out, it was actually the fastest production car, 0 to 30 on the planet. And you might think 0 to 30 doesn't sound that impressive, but basically think of it as getting through an intersection. This car could get through an intersection quicker than any other car out there. So this is my first car, which is a 1988 Toyota MR2 Supercharged. Alright, since this is my first first drive of the year of the MR2, or first taking it out of the garage and getting it set up for the summer, I like to take it out on a little drive just to stretch its legs a little bit and you know, blow out the carbon deposits, things like that. So I'm just going to take a little circle around here. So my particular MR2 is an automatic. Would have preferred to have a 5-speed, but at the time that I found this particular model, it was it had been a Florida car. These cars are notorious for rusting out, but this was a Florida car, and it was completely clean, completely rust-free, and it also had extremely low miles on it, somewhere in the range of about, I don't know, 27,000 miles or less, and it was already 6 years old. So I saw it. I had never even seen supercharged MR2 in real life before. I was aware of them from magazines and things like that, but I'd never actually seen one. And it was actually sort of in my price range at the time that I picked it up, so I decided to go for it. Alright, here's my second car. This is my other 3 seasons car. When it's not summertime and I can't drive the MR2, this is a 2002 Subaru WRX. It's got about 80,000 miles on it, and it's great. It's a really excellent car. Little history on this car, for those of you that aren't familiar. It was originally, this model, the WRX, was a Japan-only release, and actually the game Gran Turismo featured this car long before it was in the US. And people that would play the game would talk about how they had this awesome Subaru that was only in Japan, that was fast and it had awesome handling with all-wheel drive, but they hadn't released it here in the US. And Subaru actually listened to the fans and eventually released the car. 2002 was actually the first model year that it was released. This particular model has a 2-liter turbocharged engine, makes about 227 horsepower, and 0 to 60 is a pretty blistering 5.7 to 5.8 seconds, and it's a very fast car, but the thing that I really like about it is that it's also very practical. You can see this is the wagon, and it does have a lot of space in it. The seats fold down and you can actually fit a lot of cargo in the back of this thing. Plus the fact that it's all-wheel drive here in the Chicagoland area is a huge bonus. This car is actually really fun to drive in the snow. If you played a rally racing game before, then you kind of know what the handling is like, and it truly is quite fun. It's controllable. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you get the hang of it, you can learn how to steer with the throttle and do other kinds of crazy things like that. So yeah, my particular model, it's a daily driver. I don't really have a commute per se, but I do go and, you know, hit Goodwills and things like that quite a bit. And this is my go-to car for those kind of daily tasks. But it's a pretty nice and fun way to run some errands, as opposed to, you know, just a standard economy car. It doesn't get great gas mileage, which hurts a little bit, and both my cars actually require premium, so that also hurts a little bit. But like I said, I don't drive too much, as you can tell from the year of my car and the miles on it as well. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Polaventris for putting this particular subject up. As you can probably tell, I'm a car enthusiast, and you know, enjoy talking about my cars and showing them off. So thanks for watching.